won't import the tempo information because we're going to make new tempo information. And the first thing we want to do is get rid of all the intro. So actually the first thing we want to do is enable group editing. So let's do that. Okay, now let's get rid of any excess intro. And let's just bring this to the beginning of the song. And first, let's just have a listen. Alright, so as you can hear, this track needs a lot of work, so let's get to it. Now the first thing we want to do is approximate the tempo. So I've already figured out on this track that the tempo is going to be hovering plus or minus around 97. So we could just change the tempo of the song to 97. And the first thing we want to do is line up the first beat 1 to, we'll start on measure 2 since there's a pickup. So this bass drum is the first one. So we can get rid of a little bit more of this intro over here. And we'll move this back so that we want this kick, and let's just turn on our auto track zoom. Now I can see my kick nice and big, and we'll just line that up, zoom in a little bit, get it right on the money. Alright, let's just have a listen to this with the click for a second. Alright, so as you can hear with the click, we need a lot of work. So we're going to have to beat map this thing. So let's open our tempo track and we're going to show beat mapping. And we're going to do this to the bass drum because there's basically a bass drum on every beat 1. So that's what we're going to use. And we're just going to line up the start. Zoom out a bit. Start a beat 1 to the closest bass drum on every measure. So I'm just going to go through the whole track. Now here we got to listen to it and see which bass drum it is. And it's actually this one. we're just going to go through the whole song like this. Let's just take a listen to this part, make sure we're right on. Yep, so far so good. We just got to get this guy. And we'll keep going. And we're done. So let's just have a listen a little bit with the click. Alright, so now our click is following our drums, and now we basically want to quantize the drums to the click. So I'm going to set my cue reference to only my kick in and snare top mic. And we could just rearrange this, put my snare over here. Okay, and take this guy off and set this guy on. And we are almost ready to enable flex, but the first thing we got to do is do this edit tempo, export tempo information to audio file. That's very important. So this way, when we go to enable flex time, it doesn't read the old tempo information, it reads the new one that we created when we beat mapped the song. Okay, so now we're going to enable flex, and enable slicing mode. Okay, and now it's showing me the transients. Now, basically, I just want to capture the kick and the snare transients. So I'm just going to open this in my file editor over here and just take a look and see that it's only getting the kicks that I want. And these 30-second notes, I don't want it getting both of them because I just want to quantize at a 16th note level. And looking pretty good. And let's just check out our snare. Snare is looking pretty good. And we can go ahead, I think, and quantize this guy. And let's choose 16th note. Let's take off the click. Let's just zoom in a bit. Alright, so we have a little glitch right here, so all I'm going to do is just take off that transient marker and see if that fixes it. Alright, good. Let's keep going. This snare I might want to get rid of. Or get rid of this guy. And maybe we'll get rid of that one too. Let's just zoom in a bit so we can see our snare. And we don't need to see these tracks anymore. I think I've just been really flying today. Alright, and the last step what we're going to do is open up our tempo list. And we're going to just take a look at the average time here. Originally we started with 97, so that looks about average when you compare the rest of the tempo changes over here. So we're basically just going to select everything up until right around here where the tempo is about 97, and just delete everything else. And we could just change that to 97 exactly. And now it should all be on a fixed grid at 97 BPM steadily throughout the whole song. Let's just hear it from the beginning again.